The new Colossus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Hi, I'm Esther Shore, professor of English at Princeton University, and I'm delighted to be here at the Kansas City Public Library, where an exhibition on Emma Lazarus that I curated based on my book, Emma Lazarus, is on display. People ask a biographer, how did you come to write this book? How did you know she was your subject? Well, I have to be honest. My publisher had the idea, Next Book, and editor Jonathan Rosen, and they called me up and we had a meeting, and I prepped for the meeting by finding out about this woman about whom I knew next to nothing. I knew that she had written The New Colossus. I knew that she was a New Yorker and a Sephardic Jew. But I went and read the letters that are collected by Betty Roth Young in Emma Lazarus and Her World. And the letters floored me. The voice was a voice that was so modern and so opinionated and so salty and so full of the world and of art and music and writing, so impassioned about social justice. And I immediately knew that this would be a wonderful person to spend a few years with. Emma Lazarus was not an immigrant, and she was not the daughter of immigrants. She was a fourth-generation American Jew. She was the daughter of a very eminent Sephardic family. She was born in 1849 during the time of the California Gold Rush, and she grew up in New York City in an affluent house, brownstone near Union Square. And she was an enfant terrible. She was a child of great precocity and gifts, and she began writing poems when she was 9 or 10, and by the time she was 16, was a published poet. She's famous, of course, for her sonnet, The New Colossus, that's on a plaque inside the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. She wrote it as part of a fundraiser to raise money to build the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. And it wasn't until much later that the poem was placed inside the statue, and even later than that, in the 1930s, when it became famous and was made famous by pro-immigrationists. Emma Lazarus's contribution, of course, mainly is this sonnet by which she is well known. But I think we can see this fall, when we're celebrating the 125th anniversary of the dedication of the Statue of Liberty, that she travels with the statue for Americans. Her words, even if Americans know only "give me your tired, your poor," or "your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," Americans have to think about what the statue could mean and what the statue tells us about our best selves. She wrote the poem during an immigration crisis. We're living during an economic crisis, but I think it's a crisis that's made us very mean and small in some ways when we think about the wider world. Even the world outside of our own pockets, outside of our own families, outside of our own communities. And the statue and the sonnet remind us that we need to think in a larger way. We need to remember that America has always been global. We always have been global. It's who we are. And it's not something that we can ever forget about ourselves. In fact, we forget it at our peril.